the beginning of not just an academic program, it marks the beginning of a transformation. You are no longer just students. From this moment, you are future leaders, managers, and change makers. I am Professor Tanaya Das, and it is my honor and privilege to anchor today's inauguration ceremony of the induction program of Batch 2026-28 of IIEBM in this business school. We begin our ceremony by honoring the nation that shaped us. I request everyone present to please rise for our national song, followed by the national anthem. वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां शस्यश्यामलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्सनां पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् कोटि कोटि कंठ कल कल निनाद करारे कोटि कोटि भुजैर्हित खर करवाले अमला खिल माई बले बहुबल धारिणी नमामि तारिणी रिपुदल वारिणी मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् तुम्हें देव्या तुम्हें धर्मा तुम्हें देवी तुम्हें परमा हि प्राणा शरीरे बाहुते तुम्हें मा शक्ति हृदये तुम्हें मा भक्ति तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गणे मंदिरे मंदिरे वन्दे मातरम् त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरणधारिणी कमला कमलदल विहारिणी वाणी विद्यादायिनी नमामि त्वां नमामि कमलां अमलां सुजलां सुफलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् श्यामलां सरलां सुस्मितां भूषितां धरणीं धरणीं मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् Thank you. Please be seated. In the ancient tradition of our land, we begin every auspicious occasion by invoking the light of knowledge. For it is light that dispels darkness and knowledge that dispels ignorance. I now invite our founder, president, and managing trustee, Colonel Vinod Malwa, our esteemed member of Advisory Council, Colonel Lalit Rai, our MD, Dr. Jai Singh Malwa, our Dean, Dr. Poonam Nikam, along with parent representatives, to kindly come forward to light the ceremonial lamp and formally inaugurate this program. Kindly rise. May this flame remind each one of you, students and faculty alike, that the true purpose of education is to illuminate minds and ignite purpose. I now request all the dignitaries to kindly proceed to the dais. Institutions like IIEBM in this business school stand as a testament to the belief that education, when driven by vision and purpose, has the power to transform lives and communities alike. We are truly honored to have among us today distinguished personalities whose journeys embody excellence, service, and dedication. Their presence here today is not just a privilege for this institution, but an inspiration for every student seated in this hall. I now request Colonel Vinod Marwa, Founder, President, and Managing Trustee, IIEPM in this business school, to kindly felicitate our Honorable Member of the Advisory Council, Colonel Lalit Rai, Veer Chakra. Thank you, sir. We now have the privilege of hearing from the visionary who built this institution with a mission to create not just managers but leaders of character. A founder, president, and managing trustee, Colonel Vinod Marwa. Sir, may I have your permission to proceed? Thank you, sir. A founder, president, and managing trustee, Colonel Vinod Marwa is a first generational entrepreneur whose journey spans service to the nation and the shaping of future business leaders. An alumnus of Sainik School Riva, Sir is from the 38 course of the National Defense Academy and the 47 course of the Indian Military Academy, among the youngest to participate in the 1971 Bangladesh War, fondly referred to as the Born to Battle Force. After a distinguished military career, Colonel Marwa ventured into industry, founding Magnesia Chemicals LLP and Arista Chemicals LLP. Both ranked number one in India's permanganate sector. His portfolio has since expanded into pharmaceuticals, real estate development, solar energy, and humanitarian demining operations across Sri Lanka and Kuwait under UN mandates. Colonel Marwa embodies the belief that life is a journey of continuous learning and giving, an inspiration to all who aspire to chart their own path with purpose and character. His vision continues to empower individuals to discover their potential and succeed in new arenas, a mission that lies at the very heart of this institution. But what sets truly Colonel Marwa apart is his heart, one that has always beaten for the weak, the needy, and the underprivileged. Since the very inception of IIEBM, he has believed that financial circumstances should never come in the way of a deserving student's dreams. He has consistently provided scholarships for postgraduate studies, instituted special concessions for wards of serving and retired armed force personnel, and extended fee support to children from single parent and underprivileged families at Indus Jam CBSE approved school run by IIEBM Trust. His compassion took a deeply personal form after the Kargil War, when he personally funded the schooling and graduation of children of three war widows from Paltan, Satara district, a quiet act of gratitude to those who sacrificed the most. He has also been a steadfast supporter of a school for deaf and mute children in Fulton, regularly donating funds to ensure no child is left behind. In 2022, this spirit of giving was formalized with the establishment of Colonel Vinod Marwa Foundation, which continues to reach out to more lives, supporting deaf and mute children in Fulton, providing education, scholarships, and strengthening school infrastructure in the local community. Beyond business and philanthropy, he founded the Taruf Cultural Foundation to nurture Hindustani and Urdu poetry and remains committed to creating meaningful employment for fellow ex servicemen. Standing beside him through every chapter of this extraordinary journey has been Mrs. Aruna Marwa ma'am, whose quiet strength and unwavering support have been an equal part of everything this institute represents today. Please join me in warmly welcoming Colonel Vinod Marwa. Sir, please.
Colonel Lalit Rai, VRC, my dear friend and chief guest of the day, members of the management and faculty, I don't see any parents, and my dear students. Jai Hind and a very good morning. It gives me tremendous pride and privilege to welcome you all to the 27th batch of IIEBM at Pune and to a very eventful journey for the next 2 years. Be assured, we will groom you intellectually, morally, and physically, and make you corporate battlefield ready, just like our armed forces. And you'll be as successful as our armed forces have been in the 65 war, 71 war, 99 Kargil war, and recently of Sindhu. Incidentally, today we are greatly privileged and honored to have Tiger Hill hero Colonel Lalit Rai amidst us, who will give you the right grounding on the first day of your induction. Please give a warm welcome to Colonel Lalit Rai. Now let me see, after having welcomed the Kargil hero, how's the Josh? Normally when I address, I tell people your voice should reach at least Rawalpindi, if not state of Hormuz. So how's the Josh? I think Hormuz tak pahunch jayegi. Okay, now I want to compliment you guys on three counts that you are so lucky, I can't tell you. First of all, you all are one of the luckiest students in the world. Reason, I don't think, apart from India and maybe Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, anywhere else in any developed countries of the world, do parents fund the education, especially the higher education of their children. In your case, all of you, your fees has been funded by your parents, your elders, or your relations, leaving you totally carefree, without any worries or tensions, to study well and perform and outshine. My son-in-law, who's a Norwegian, even when he got married, he was still paying his EMIs for the education loan. Because in Norway, after 10th, you are on your own. So see how lucky you are. Globally, 80% of youths goes for vocational training after class 10th. India has got 388 universities, more than 53,000 colleges, and out of the 51 lakh students, only 6% get to do post graduation in management. So you are the most privileged, lucky, and in good hands. So don't miss out on that. Today, market is expanding. During our times, the vocations were maybe army, engineering, doctor, or government services. Today, there are more than 12,000 vocations in 1,500 sectors of economy. And in India, we have only tapped barely 300 choices. So, unlike us, you have very open field and plethora of choices to choose from in a vocation which will motivate you, stimulate you, and help you create a landmark of your own. So I advise all of you to please remain curious, stay abreast with what is happening in the market, and find your true vocation in life so that you can perform well. We will guide you, mentor you, advise you, but the choice will be always yours. Secondly, last century belonged to USA, and before that to Great Britain. But 21st century belongs to Asia, and in Asia we are one of the very fast growing economy. Today we are third largest economy globally. When I spoke to your friends last year, we were the fourth largest economy. And with the bright people sitting in front of me, I'm sure you will take us to almost second economy of the world. During our time, even to get a landline, it used to take us decades. To get a Vespa scooter or a Labrador scooter would be a Herculean task, and at times the wedding dowry included a scooter. Today, you can just buy a cordless phone or a mobile phone for the asking. Infrastructure is good, roads are good, malls are good, and government is supporting new enterprises in a very big way through the Atmanirbhar scheme, Unnati scheme, so many schemes. So you are born into the best country in the best of times, and you can't ask for anything more. Only you have to get started. Today, India is called the CEO factory of the world, with Indians heading host of Fortune 500 companies like Google, Microsoft, YouTube, World Bank, IBM, Honeywell, etc. So I so at times feel if I was 20 years younger, I would have also been a CEO. But anyway, you still have an opportunity to do well. And third point, I want to once again compliment you for choosing to study at IIBM Pune, because Pune is fondly known as the Oxford of the East, Detroit of India, Kashi of IT, leading production hub for diesel engines, gensets, water treatment, dairy equipment, big research center with all the major national laboratories here, a big army defense hub with world class and most prestigious training institutions, What I'm trying to bring home is, with all these things and facilities available in Pune, you have to make the most of it, to reach out, see that what you can learn from them, meet the people, eminent speakers from those places, and grow your awareness and your ambition. So we will, on our part, will put you through long hours of lectures, assignments, case studies, field projects. There will be lot of industry interaction. Lot of industry captains will come and talk to you, so that you can relate your theoretical knowledge with what is happening practically on the ground. We will also put you through personality enrichment programs, whereby we will instill in you the time tested, world globally respected armed forces value. And those values will carry you forward. Let me tell you with great pride that a lot of companies, top companies, Colgate, Google, Deloitte, Britannia, whatever, they come to our college year on year, not for the domain knowledge, but with the values our students have, the deliverables that they have. So they say knowledge is dynamic, knowledge is ever changing, but values, sanskar, are always there. That is why I tell a lot of my army veteran friends, don't forsake your values. They are the cornerstone of your growth. So we'll put you through all these things. Also, lot of co-curricular activities, Zumba, yoga, camps, boot camps, games, sports, CSR activities will give you a well-rounded personality. So don't think that this is beyond the curriculum of management. So what do we do? It's not for us. No, we are going to make you a well-rounded industry leader or an entrepreneur. So take every facet of learning in the right spirit. Since they have said कि I have started a foundation called Taruf. Taruf मतलब परिचय, introduction. So that is promoting Hindustani and Urdu poetry. So कुछ तो मुझे बोलना पड़ेगा. So I have corrupted a very old शेर which applies to you. So it goes like this: यह PGDM नहीं आसान, इतना तो समझ लीजिए. असली शेर है, ये इश्क नहीं आसान, इतना तो समझ लीजिए. तो मैंने कह दिया है, ये PGDM नहीं आसान, इतना तो समझ लीजिए, एक आग का दरिया है जहां डूब के जाना है. So what I am going to tell you is, it will be baptism through fire. Like in army, you have to go through the fire. कुंदन तब कहीं सोना बनता है. So you will have to go through rough times, but take it in the stride. It is to make you into a very formidable leader. I will earnestly request all of you to take your studies seriously. Don't aim to only pass exam or score marks, but make knowledge your lifetime intellectual property. We teach management by watching movies, and I always tell, Three Idiots was a classic example where Chatur wanted to score marks by remembering a rote or ratta marker to gain marks. But when Chor Das Chanchad always learned the fundamentals, and they were his forever. That's why when there is a storm, there is no light, how he delivers a baby by using the basic fundamentals of physics and engineering. So similarly, if you master your knowledge, that is for yours forever. So don't aim at gaining marks, aim at learning the subject, and that should be your lifeline asset. I can assure you that if you people study well, during your summer internship, good people will be getting pre-placement officers without doubt. And recently, so many people have joined Deloitte after first year, though they will have to come and clear their exams. But good people are picked up because industry cannot wait. But the bad people will come back to the college and say, no, our guide was not good, or we were not taught the subject, or the environment or curriculum was not good. So don't give excuses. Raise yourself to a level where people cannot reject you. And that means you have got barely 12 months to do everything. In the armed forces, I keep rubbing armed forces because that's in our blood. We say the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. That means we have to prepare for an operation so that we don't mess up when things still go wrong. Similarly, you are jumping into the corporate battlefield, and corporate world is ruthless. They will not be nice. They want performance. They want results, and they don't want any excuses. So face that ruthless world, learn your things nicely and well. So participate in every college activity, all the committees and other things, because the moment you execute a assignment in the college or an event in the college, you will do planning, budgeting, forecasting, time management, and then finally successful execution. It may not be success, but it will leave you with a lot of lessons. So take active part. The more you take active part, the better shine you'll get. We insist on the time-tested armed forces values of integrity, commitment, accountability, discipline, and reliability. We will every day instill these in you. Even if you are 1 minute late, you will be thrown out. If you are not properly dressed, you will be sent out. Why we are instilling these things? Or if you don't do your assignment, you will be caught. Why we are instilling these things? Because they should become a second nature, and your reliability factor should go up. When we talk about Tata and Reliance, whom do you trust blindly? Tata's. Reliance is a bigger company, but there is some element of doubt in our mind. Reliance thoda to kuch chalu hai. So we should be perceived as most reliable, steadfast, and result-oriented future leaders. I always observe, even when in NDA, the people who came from छोटे शहर, हिंदी या मराठी या बंगाली वाले, तो vernacular languages, they somehow felt we don't speak English or we don't speak very glibly, we are inferior. Please don't get into the comparison trap. You may be from a rich family, you may be from a middle class family, you may be from a small town, or you may not know English much. You can always learn it. But do not ever entertain that inferiority complex, or don't get into the comparison trap. Each one of you is a dynamo. Each one of you is a genius and unique. So build on your strengths and overcome your shortcomings. Like people say he was lucky or he was smart or he had something. ऐसे नहीं होता. Narayan Murthy has written very nicely कि you know Narayan Murthy? Huh? Yes. So Narayan Murthy lived in a two-bedroom flat in Pune, but Narayan Murthy has written in his memoirs, it took me 30 years of back-breaking hard work to become overnight wonder. So there are no overnight wonders. It's a phrase कि वो कमाल कर दिया उसने out of the blue. People don't know how much hard he worked, how much he struggled. So there are no overnight wonders. There is no free lunch. You have to work for it and be willing to pay the price. I am reminded of my poem which used to learn in school while we were preparing for the NDA's entrance examination. That says, heights by great men reached and kept, were not attained by sudden flight. They, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the sky. So you have to burn the midnight oil. अगर आगे जाना है. Wonders don't happen. You are the wonder. और जिसको इंग्लिश नहीं आती, हिंदी में एक वैसे मुहावरा है, जिन ढूंढा तिन पाइयो, गहरे पानी पैठ, मैं भौरा डूबन डरूं, राह किनारे बैठ. So अगर आपको जाना है, you who would search for pearls must dive below. So be prepared. 2 साल, no holds barred. Inculcate positive attitude, but more than that, possibility attitude. ये हो सकता है. Possibility. Possibility thinking is more powerful than positive thinking. And Abhinav Bindra was a very classic example. India had never won gold except in hockey all these years. But Abhinav Bindra thought out of the box and he said it is possible. Why can't I win a gold? Not only that, he believed in himself and he was focused. He made his email ID go for gold. And you all know he made history in India by getting the first individual gold medal in independent India because he said it is possible. What we can think, that can be done. But then we have to think big. When confronted with challenges or when you are confused, दो सवाल सामने आते हैं. कैन आई, क्या मैं कर सकता हूं, और आई कैन, मैं कर सकता हूं. ये सोच आपकी अपनी है. अगर आप अपनी मानसिकता आशावादी बनाते हैं, दैट मीन्स positive thinking, then you will say I can, notwithstanding the hurdles. But can I is the first element of doubt that you are not sure or you are not willing to pay the price. So develop that attitude of I can. 90% of people who fail are not actually defeated, they quit. So people don't know victory is so close, but people quit. You have to persevere. I am from the Corps of Engineers, and there we have a motto: difficult, we do immediately. For impossible, we take little time. So there is nothing impossible for us. Only thing is, to impossible थोड़ा सा समय लगता है. ठीक है? So this defines our attitude, and this is the attitude I want to build in you. When Commonwealth Games took place, Government of India had got a very nice bridge made for the inauguration, which collapsed. After spending lakhs of rupees and 6 to 8 months to make it, crisis came. They called our Madras sappers. They said, "ये bridge बनाना है." They said, "Where's the problem?" In 48 hours flat, that bridge was constructed and inauguration went undisturbed. So that is the attitude of I can or can I. We lay a lot of stress on entrepreneurship. We have special workshops. And please take active interest in that, because today India is a country of entrepreneurs. Aim at becoming an employer, not an employee. I left the army. मैंने कहा इतने सलूट मिलते थे फौज में, मैं किसी को सलूट करूं. मैंने कहा I will start my own things. My pension was only 3,500. I think your pocket money was more than that. और मेरे पास दो बच्चे भी थे, तो और भी क्या गरीबी में आटा गीला था. But I said, never mind, I'll तो मैं अपना कुआं खुद ही खोदूंगा. तो इसलिए I am a die-hard entrepreneur. Look at entrepreneurship, avail all the facilities government is giving you. Because let me tell you, 10 years back, there were only 20,000 startups. Today in India, we have more than 2 lakh startups and 1,500 unicorns. That means we are on the right trajectory, and you can be part of that. Chosin Angmo. Anyone heard of her? Okay. Chosin Angmo is the first blind woman from Kinnaur, Himachal Pradesh, who scaled Mount Everest in May 25 last year. Well, she may be blind, but she had vision. She may be blind, but she has vision. नाम लिख लो. Chosin Angmo किसी को नहीं मालूम, it's a shame. Please remember, plans are only good intentions unless they immediately degenerate into hard work. जब तक plan है, it's all a dream. To make the dream a reality, you have to hit the ground running. Please have dreams with deadlines. Otherwise, you will end up singing the Vivid Bharati का गाना, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन एक दिन, पूरा है विश्वास. तो वो गाना सब गाते हैं, पर वो एक दिन कब आएगा किसी को मालूम नहीं. So don't have plans without deadlines. Finally, Pune is a fun city. Lot of malls, lot of theaters, lot of treks, lot of pubs, lot of restaurants, and so you make the most of it. But after having fulfilled your weekly assignments, having done your job, reward yourself always. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So take time off to enjoy. But after having finished your things. Let your conscience decide कि have I done my work honestly or not. अगर आपका मन कहता है कि मैंने सच्ची मुच्ची काम किया है, go out with the boys and girls, have fun, let your hair down. And again, coming back to तारुफ, एक कविता इस प्रकार है कि चाहे हीरे मोतियों से जड़ दो, आईना कभी झूठ बोलता ही नहीं. So when you face yourself in the mirror, mirror will tell you कि आप सच हो या झूठ हो. If you can face yourself, that's all right. And otherwise you can carry out mama and papa test, which is a very good thing. If you do a thing which you feel शायद गलत है, you ask in your mind, will my father or mother be proud once they hear of this action of mine? If the answer is yes, go ahead and do it. But अगर if you feel मेरे पिताजी कहेंगे इतने पैसे खर्च के इसको भेजा इधर और ये पब में बैठा बियर पी रहा है या सिनेमा देख रहा है, and they'll be proud of you, please do it. So do that mama papa test, your subconscious will tell you. So guys, when you go back to your rooms, make your roadmap of next 500 days with the quarterly, monthly, weekly milestones, and make it a habit to make a checklist, which I even today make. Prioritize your tasks, do them well. And finally they say, eat your frog. Frog is very not pleasant looking thing. No one likes to eat a frog, except maybe people in China and Japan. So what I want to convey is, do the hardest job for the day as per your checklist first. Once you have done that, you are over the hill. Other jobs will become easy. So you have to eat your frog first. And associated with frog, I'll tell you a small story. A frog decided to reach the top of a tree. All the friends like you shouted, you can't reach the top because no frog has ever reached the top. How? But still, frog reached the top. Question was how? Any guesses? Well, the frog was deaf. वो बहरा था. So he thought when everyone was saying you can't do it, they say शायद they are encouraging me. तो उसको और जोश आया और वो ऊपर चढ़ गया. So my lesson to you people is, be deaf to negative thoughts, and if you aim to reach the top, just ignore everyone. Be relentless in your objective and aim. Be deaf like a frog, but eat your frog daily. You are finally on the threshold of a very big milestone of your life. After this, you will not get time to sit and read, because when you get into a job, you will be running from pillar to post. So make the most of this. And streets are paved with gold. Ask me, 3,500 से कहाँ पहुँच गया? Colonel Rai, though, he only lives on a bed of diamonds. So he'll tell you later on. Okay. So streets are paved with gold. You got to have audacious goals, passion, junoon, willingness to work. And world is yours. Take charge of your destiny. We can only guide you. Irada and decisions आपकी हैं. Dream big, stay grounded, work with integrity, take responsibility, and keep learning. Success is not about rising quickly, it's about rising responsibly with dignity. I wish you all the best once again. And like I told you, I'm a die-hard entrepreneur. मैं मेडिसिन में भी हूँ, कंस्ट्रक्शन में भी हूँ, केमिकल्स में भी हूँ, एग्रीकल्चर में भी हूँ, और मैं अभी अफ्रीका जाने की सोच रहा हूँ कि वहाँ भी क्यों ना एक हिंदुस्तान का झंडा गाड़ दिया जाए. तो कई बार लोग कहते हैं तुम बूढ़े हो चुके हो, तो जैसे अमिताभ बच्चन कहते हैं बूढ़ा होगा तेरा बाप. तो एनीवे व्हाट आई से इज, जब मेरा दिल डरता है तो मैं अपने को एक सोहनलाल द्विवेदी की कविता से प्रोत्साहित करता हूँ. So I'll end my word with a small poem by सोहनलाल द्विवेदी. कहते हैं, लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. असफलता एक चुनौती है, इसे स्वीकार करो. क्या कमी रह गई, देखो और सुधार करो. जब तक ना सफल हो, नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम. संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़कर मत भागो तुम. कुछ किए बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती. कुछ किए बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती. कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. सो आई होप you will take these things to your heart and work on it. I wish you all the very best for the next 2 years. Jai Hind and thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your vision, your generosity, your guidance, and your unwavering commitment to this institution and to each student who walked through its doors. IIEBM was not built overnight. It was built brick by brick, batch by batch, on the values of integrity, perseverance, excellence, and service. The same value that Sir has embodied throughout his remarkable life. Take these values with you into your classrooms, into your internships, into your careers, and into your lives. Because the world does not need smart professionals, it needs disciplined, principled, and purpose driven leaders. And that is exactly what this institution set out to create from day one. It is now my distinct honor to introduce a man whose life reads not like a resume, but like a saga of courage, leadership, and service to the nation. Colonel Lalit Rai, Veer Chakra. Sir, may I have your permission to proceed? Thank you, sir. Colonel Lalit Rai is a highly decorated former officer of the Indian Army, a soldier's soldier, a leader's leader. During Operation Vijay, the Kargil War of 1999, Colonel Rai was entrusted with one of the most formidable and critical missions, capturing the strategic heights of Khalubar in the Bataling subsector, a terrain so treacherous, so unforgiving that ordinary courage would simply not suffice. He commanded the Gorkha Rifles into battle. His battalion was handpicked, chosen from the finest, and was among the first to be deployed to war in 1999. The faith placed in him and his men was not just military, it was national. Over a distinguished career spanning 3 decades in the Indian Army, Colonel Rai has conducted over 100 major counter-terrorist operations in Jammu and Kashmir. His gallantry, inspirational leadership, and selfless service have been recognized at the highest levels. He was felicitated personally by Prime Minister Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Defense Minister Sri George Fernandez after the Kargil War. The President of India honored him with the Veer Chakra, one of the highest gallantry awards of the nation, for inspirational leadership and gallantry beyond the call of duty. Among his numerous awards, the Chief of Army Staff Commendation Card, the Sunil Dutt Lifetime Achievement Award, the Dr. Bhansali Inspirational Leadership Award, the Rotary Youth Icon Award, and the SERA Service Excellence Award, to name only a few. Today, Colonel Rai channels the same discipline and strategic clarity as the Managing Director of Arcanum Management Consulting. He is a celebrated motivational speaker whose stories of the battlefield continue to inspire students and corporate leaders alike, with timeless lessons in leadership, resilience, and human character. He is also a valuable member of the Advisory Council at IIEBM Indus Business School. Sir, we are deeply honored and humbled by your presence here today. I now request Colonel Lalit Rai, Veer Chakra, to kindly address the gathering. Sir, please.
Good morning, everybody. He doesn't want me to speak today. Once again, good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. For some of you, it's already good morning because I saw you nodding your heads. Hello, check. Now it's okay. Now you can hear me, right? Yes, sir.
Okay, whenever I see a large gathering like this, I'm reminded of my old days. जब भी कोई मुख्य अतिथि बोलने के लिए आता था, आई यूज्ड टू स्विच ऑफ. मैंने कहा चल भाई 1 घंटे तो सो सकता हूँ अभी मैं, लेकिन सोने नहीं दूंगा. I will not let you sleep today. Okay? So, respected Chairman Colonel Marwa, who is also my old senior colleague, we were instructors at NDA together. I do remember him as one of the most Joshila person. I always looked up to him, and he is someone who we would love to emulate. His sense of enterprise, his Josh, and the best line I liked about you, sir, that Buddha hoga tera baap. Thank you, because I'm also not too young, not a spring chicken, so I think that line says it all. ये आज हमारा भी दिन है, आपका तो है ही, हमारा भी है, right? Yeah. Okay, so just to set the perspective, firstly, I have made a script today. I never make a script for my talks, but I made a script today. You know why? Because I didn't want to miss out certain important points which are there for you. मैं ज्ञान देने नहीं आया हूँ, repeat, ज्ञान देने नहीं आया हूँ, but I would like to share with you certain practical aspects. Now that you are at the threshold where you are going to take off, you are, like a fighter jet which is on a runway which is about to take off. लेकिन टेक ऑफ करने से पहले पायलट को इतने सारे स्विचेस दबाने होते हैं, so many meters he has to read, so many things that he has to balance it out over there. So those are the few things which I'm going to tell you which you need to balance to take off as a fighter, which can do a lot of strategically important jobs and tasks ahead. But to set the perspective, let me also give you a little bit of a different viewpoint. When the Kargil happened, my boys were all scattered off in villages. वो बेचारे गांव से आए थे. There are some villages which are 2 hours away. But when the telegram, those days we used to have telegrams to call these people in the villages. ये phone नहीं था हमारे पास उस time, ये mobile. When it reached that place, there were certain villages where the telegram was available. They got the message and they came. And though there were other villages which were 2 days away, 1 day away, they had just heard, murmurs that अरे war हो रहा है, हमें recall किया गया है. Some people had just reached barely 2 days ago, and after having walked for 3 days. Yet when they got the telegram, each and every one, not only the guys who got the telegram, but also those guys जिनको खबर मिली कि ऐसे telegram आया है, वो तो कह सकते थे कि भाई हमें telegram नहीं मिला, हम तो रहेंगे. Most of us will do that. But इन्होंने नहीं किया. उन्होंने कहा हमें सुनने में आया है कि पलटन ने हमें वापस बुलाया सबको, लेकिन टेलीग्राम हमारे पास पहुंचा नहीं है, लेकिन हम वापस आ रहे हैं. And they came back, all of them. These people are not educated people. Simple 8th, 9th, 10th standard pass. They didn't have the facility and the facility and the education that you all have got. Some of you were working, some of you were graduates. All of you are graduates. This is a post-graduation over here. You have got a fantastic background where your parents have also taught you so well. गांव में बेचारा existence के लिए लड़ते हैं वो. Education तो दूर की बात है. वो तो रोज के लिए जो है कि रोटी कैसे आएगी, हम खेतों में काम करके कैसे कमाएंगे, इस तरीके का जो है background है. But those people came, and those simple-minded folks, they came here, got together when we assembled at the assembly point as a battalion, and we moved. And with the synergy that they created with the simple-minded people, they created history. They created some feats which could be written by golden words in the annals of military history, and the whole world was there to see what these guys have done. Something remarkable. They have done something impossible. Mission impossible, suicidal mission they have completed, and they have succeeded. Do you know how? Do you know why? It's not because they had a Brahmastra. जैसे हम लोग को दिखता था ना वो पांड में देख के वो those things are which are flaring out from the arrow. They didn't have any Brahmastra. It was just one simple point. They had that synergy which was created because of a single-minded focus कि हमें ये objective मिला है, हमें इसको attack करना है और हमें इसको capture करना है. irrespective whether we are going to lose our life or limb. हमें करना ही है, that determination, that focus, that big picture which they had in mind. So if those poor people, if those simple-minded people could do it, I do not see any reason कि आप लोग वो क्यों नहीं अचीव कर सकते जो आप अचीव करने के लिए यहाँ आए हैं. So firstly, I consider it a privilege that I'm standing here in front of a very educated and elite group of students. आप लोगों ने ग्रेजुएशन किया है, you have come for your post graduation, and you have come to a college which is very unique amongst the management colleges. I'm not saying that because I'm in the advisory board, I have to please anybody. No. Firstly, I'm on the advisory board because I'm convinced there are many colleges in the university who have been after my life to join them on the advisory board, but I have not agreed for certain reasons. And there are other reasons for which I have agreed to be here as the advisory board member, because I find this college unique. Because today's program don't treat it as a merely normal mundane induction program. No, you should treat it as an induction into responsibility, the roles that you're going to play. Responsibility, leadership, teamwork, decision making, and life itself. ये आपके जो 2 साल है वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण साल होंगे. I wish there was a jadui ka danda and I could be transferred back and I could be sitting down there. I'm telling you. Because when I was young, I was supposed to be very intelligent because I could grasp things, and I took arithmetic and mathematics as my subject, even my BSc, because उसमें रट्टा नहीं लगाना पड़ता था. उसमें fundamentals, just like he said, if you understood, you could apply the formula at the appropriate time and you got good marks. My mother used to feel कि ये चीटिंग करता होगा इसलिए पास हो जाता, पढ़ता तो नहीं है कभी ये. बट हमारे मार्क्स भी उन दिनों में बहुत कम मिलते थे. We were in the 40s, 50s and 60s, तो by goodness miracle. आजकल जो आप लोगों के मैं मार्क्स देखता हूँ ना, it feels as if I'm reading the body temperatures in a thermometer. 97, 98, 99. हमारे टाइम में तो ओनली थर्मोमीटर में मिलता था ये नंबर. Which is good. You people are intelligent. आप लोगों के पूरा अवेयरनेस है, आप लोगों के पास भंडार है इंफॉर्मेशन का. You got a expressway for as far as information is concerned through your internet. हमारे टाइम में ऐसा नहीं था. We didn't even have computers when we were in school. So you are privileged and lucky as far as that is concerned. So, like he said, fundamentals are more important than the superficial ratta मार के pass होने के लिए. And that's what I did. Now, as someone who has donned the uniform, and I'm sure most of you must be thinking, ये ज़्यादा military क्यों हो रहा है? ये ज़्यादा military इसलिए हो रहा है क्योंकि this is a proven ground. If there is a, not if, matter of fact, many times the thing has been taken as to which is the organization which is most trusted, number one in whole of India, and without doubt, without any chap coming very close to the second also, it is always the Indian Army. And why is it so? Intellectuals तो नहीं जाते उधर, because intellectuals are away. But even average-minded people go there and they work together, and it is one of the best organizations in the nation today in India. I'm not talking about neighbors, it's different. Neighbor का तो वही different हो गया. But यहाँ का जो ethos है आर्मी का, it is one of the best organization. And if the best organization के लोग आके आपको वही organization के success points न सिखाए तो आपको क्या फर्क पड़ता है? It is good. That is something which you should learn from. We should emulate. So remember one thing, कि with time, कहता ना समय बदल गया है. Why are we? You know, with time, your uniform may change. पहले कौन सा कलर का होता था, आजकल दूसरा है. Disrupted pattern is दूसरा है. The terrain where you fight your battles, they may change, because obviously with modern warfare and faster communication and better mobility, things will change. The terrain will change. The terminology which they use today may change, but the fundamental aspects of leadership, discipline, ethics, courage, teamwork, and resilience, they will never go out of fashion. And they are the bulwark your foundations of all that you do. So therefore, I thought today, instead of giving you a fundamental, normal, conventional lecture, which I'm sure you will be going through a lot of it, a lot of professors are itching to have their classes and give you the basic fundamentals of the other aspects of life. I thought, why not give you something which is from the other side, which is on practical application. Now, like the chairman has already brought out, that you are on the threshold where you're going to take off. And what type of a human being you become, how successful or how great you become, will depend. I'm telling you, it will literally depend upon those 2 years that you spend over here. इसको वक्त को जाया नहीं करना है. हर पल, हर सेकंड में your learning मतलब जो है, faculty should be open. You should be curious. You should be trying to learn more and more. And just like you said, language का barrier नहीं होना चाहिए. That is not an issue. But at the same time, those people who are not able to communicate so well in English, this is your time. I always say and always maintain that even when I was an instructor, I should tell my cadets, look, this is your learning time. If you make 1,000 mistakes, there will be 2,000 people trying to teach you how to do it. But unless that gray spot is removed now, and you don't bother about it and you carry on, ignoring things like this and carry on ahead, that gray spot will become a black spot. And at some stage of life later, when you then try to learn, people will laugh at you. So don't waste your time. अगर अंग्रेजी ठीक नहीं है तो ठीक करो. I have seen people coming from the land of Haryana. We call it the Texas of India. वहाँ के लोग, they had a heavy accent. We also have an accent, but now I have got over that. And that guy, when he came in over there, I remember how we made fun of him, how in my own course-mates and all that. Even in English, I'll tell you, because sense of humor is something which is very central to the army. I must tell you what happened. One day he told me, कि राय, यार मेरे को ना यहाँ बहुत दर्द हो रहा है इधर, एब्डोमेन के पास में. पता नहीं ये क्या एक्सरसाइज करा दिया पीटी उसने उस्ताद ने, बहुत दर्द हो रहा है. तो what मतलब you were laboring hard and doing the job hard? He said, yeah. बहुत मैं परिश्रम कर रहा था, लेबर कर रहा था, उसमें मेरे को दर्द हो रहा है. So I said, you write an application ना? So I said, sir, in the application, बेचारा वो अंग्रेजी इतना आता नहीं था उसको. कहता, I said, you write, dear sir, I may be kindly excused and I be given SIQ, that is sick in quarters, which is one day off from the training. I may be SIQ because I am suffering from labor pains. करके लिख दे. उसने लिख दिया. Dear sir, I may be excused for 24 hours because I am suffering from labor pains. Ustad ने देखा और the instructor saw that, he got very angry. He was trying to pull fast ones with me. You are a guy and you are suffering from labor pains. इतना रगड़ा पट्टी, he was rolling all the time. And later on, when the instructor came to know it was badmash like me who had told him, मेरे को भी roll कराया उधर. So what I'm trying to say is, these things happen. But that guy, he took it to heart. He said, yeah, look, I've been made a fool of because of this. And later on, he had not only good knowledge of English, but also had a little twang of an accent, But only कभी-कभी जो एक-एक शब्द में ना वो बेचारा भूल जाता था अपना accent. कहता, oh, you guys, come over here. ऐसे बोलता था. He became instructor later on. कहता, okay, you idiot, bring your platoon here. वहाँ मार खा जाता था. So you guys polish up that also. Don't say platoon, say platoon. Okay. कहने का तात्पर्य ये है कि do not get suppressed by your small insecurities like that. Work on it. You can do it. When others are doing it, why can't you do it? Then people say, okay, we want to do something for success. What is success? How do you measure success? Now, I say, you should feel that I'm successful when your parents are proud of you. One. The day your parents are proud of you, you are successful. Your colleagues, आपके peer वाले हैं, they trust you. Your subordinates, जो आपके नीचे हैं, they not only trust you, but they also respect you. Remember, your colleagues, your juniors, your subordinates, they are the best reflection. अगर आपने शॉर्टकट मार के ऐसे उधर दाहिने बाएं करके आपने प्रमोशन ले लिया या आपने कुछ कर दिया और यू ट्राइंग टू शो ऑफ, यू से ठीक है कर लिया, बट वी नो हाउ यू गॉट देयर, you know. So the day they actually trust you and they respect you, you know that you are successful. Your friends, they are again a reflection. If your friends always want to be around you, they may not say it because friends never say these things. वो कभी praise नहीं करते. They'll always put you into trouble. The best friends, they'll put you into trouble, just like Jay and Viru, you know, when they go for his rishta. He says no, वो इधर उधर जाता है, शराब ज्यादा पी लेता कभी कभी, लेकिन कंट्रोल पे आ जाता है, something like that, you know. But heart of hearts, they really love you. They are only doing that for mascari, but they love you. So when your friends, they are around you, and they want to be with you, you understand that you are successful. And finally, most important of all, when you can sleep at night and when you're closing your eyes and you say, yeah, मैंने सही किया, I feel so happy that, you know, I worked hard and I got this. What a fantastic sleep and what a fantastic feeling that is. So that is the type of success I want you guys to go for, right? Don't go for that cheap type of success which people talk about. So as far as challenges are concerned, as a student of आप लोग आए हो ना, ये मत समझना कि ये भाषण सुन लिया मैं कर लूंगी कर लूंगा and you know things will go smooth. Never. आप शुरू करोगे, जब भी अच्छा काम करने के लिए शुरू करते हो ना, सबसे ज्यादा ऑब्स्टेकल्स आते हैं, सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं, सबसे ज्यादा इश्यूज आते हैं. But should you get cowed down by those problems? Should you? No. Because why? Why should you not get cowed down? Because those problems are not problems. They are actually part of your success. अगर problems नहीं होते, resistance नहीं होता, तो आप कहाँ आगे सीख के बढ़ते? Yesterday I saw a beautiful clip somebody had sent me. He says, do you know a seed when it germinates? बीज होता है ना, जो बीज, वो जब जर्मिनेट होता है, सबसे पहला जब आपको सॉइल में डालते हैं तो कौन सा पोर्शन पहले शुरू होता है ग्रो करना? कैन यू टेल मी? रूट्स. एंड व्हाट डज द रूट फेस व्हेन इट स्टार्ट्स ग्रोइंग? रेजिस्टेंस. पूरा मिट्टी होता है, पत्थर होता है, कंकर होता है, रेजिस्टेंस. बट डिस्पाइट द रेजिस्टेंस द रूट स्टार्ट्स ग्रोइंग लाइक दिस एंड स्प्रेडिंग इट ओवर देयर लाइक दिस. एंड ओनली आफ्टर द रूट हैज टेकन इनफ strength, enough space, it starts getting your minerals and energy from the earth, and then it starts collecting together and it starts sprouting upwards. So what grows downwards is your gravitropic this thing, the energy that gets it to grow downwards against all resistance, all difficulties. And as soon as it goes up there, it becomes heliotropic because it follows the sun. उसमें कोई रेजिस्टेंस होता है क्या ऊपर? कोई ऊपर है रेजिस्टेंस? नहीं होता रेजिस्टेंस, बिकॉज नीचे ग्राउंड सॉइल है. एंड ऊपर the moment it starts budding out like this shoot, then you suddenly see it becomes a green and then red, yellow, blue, whatever the color and the fruit that it starts giving over there. Everybody sees कि ये प्लांट कितना सुंदर है, इसका फूल कितना अच्छा है. Nobody knows the struggle that the root has taken to actually first settle the issue. Have you got that point? So my dear friends, today you are a germinated seed. आपके roots को आपने पैदा करने हैं. And what are those roots? They are your networks, they are your friends, they are your experience, there is your knowledge, there is your learning, that is your curiosity. All these make you mazboot, well settled over there. And only when you become that and you gather enough energy there, will you take off as a shoot up and you become a bloom into a beautiful flower or a beautiful plant or a beautiful tree. And even if it is a mighty oak tree होता है ना, वो बड़े बड़े oak tree, उसका seed का size क्या होता है? इतना छोटा. Matter of fact, some of the trees वो seeds होते हैं ना, they will be smaller than the seeds of the small tiniest plant. You know that? So that is actually nature speaking and telling you कि आपका size, आपका background, आपका जो है whatever you thought is your shortcoming, आपके आर्थिक your economic position doesn't matter. What matters is the potential that is there for it to grow. So take lessons from nature also. This is how it should grow, right? Then people often ask me, sir, आपने war में गए थे ना? What was the biggest challenge that you faced? Was it the bombardment that you faced? Was it the number of people, troops over there? Was it the surprise element and जो पहाड़ के ऊपर बैठे थे, मशीन गन की फायर आ रही है आपके ऊपर, 40 से 60 मशीन गन फायरिंग एट द रेट ऑफ 1000 राउंड्स अ मिनट, और आप ऊपर चार्ज कर रहे हो, हवा बहुत कम है बिकॉज ऑफ हाइपोक्सिया, freezing cold है, -35 degrees Celsius, मतलब everything you catch becomes frozen over there. सांस लेना मुश्किल हो रहा है. You are so tired because the incline is more than 80 degrees, but you're still doing it. So was that the most difficult thing? I said no. As a commanding officer and also as anyone who's there actually fighting the battle, that was not the toughest thing. The toughest thing was uncertainty. कि पता ही नहीं था कि अगले पल क्या होने वाला है, कौन सा बॉम्ब मेरे साइड में गिर के मैं छितड़े हो जाऊंगा, whether I will live to breathe in the next second or not. That is the toughest part, ambiguity. So similarly, when you guys are going to go to work, यहाँ से आप ग्रेजुएट करके जब आप काम के लिए जाते हैं, जॉब्स के लिए जाते हैं, कोई एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए जाते हैं, the biggest thing that you have to overcome is ambiguity, uncertainty. और ऐसे uncertainty और ऐसे ambiguous वातावरण में भी आपके पास हिम्मत होनी चाहिए, आपके पास नॉलेज होना चाहिए, एंड थोड़ा बहुत क्यूरियोसिटी से जो आपने लर्न किया है इधर से, वो एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए, जिससे आप सही डिसीजन ले पाए, या डिसीजन भी ले पाए या ना पाए. Because half the time people die because they are lack, they do not take a decision on time. That is why there is a saying in the army, even a wrong decision is better than no decision. And I hope you all know, you should be aware of it. I'm telling you right now, कि corporate में जब जाओगे ना, maximum the good and great companies का difference क्या होता है, कि people don't take decisions. They lack the courage to take decision. So आप उनमें से मत होना, because now I'm making you aware of it, and because I'm making you aware of it, start working towards it. Lack of decision is the one that kills people. So you are now living in one of the most uncertain times that I have seen. You have seen what is happening in the Middle East. You have seen what is happening in Russia and Ukraine. You've seen everywhere what is happening. There's chaos and gather everywhere. We don't even, I have actually, even a geopolitical person who's very keen on following the geopolitics, sometimes I get confused. Yeah, मेरा दुश्मन कौन है, मेरा दोस्त कौन है, पता ही नहीं चलता. अगर मैं यहाँ जाता हूँ मिडिल ईस्ट, सऊदी अरेबिया में, और वो प्रिंस सलीम बोलता है कि यस यस वी आर दी कोऑपरेशन, मैं इतना बिजनेस दे रहा हूँ, ऑल दैट, सडनली नेक्स्ट डे आई फाइंड आउट, अरे उसने तो डिफेंस पैक्ट साइन कर लिया पाकिस्तान के साथ कि तुम्हारे ऊपर हमला होगा तो हम भी तुम्हारे साथ दोस्त बन जाएंगे. यूक्रेन वाज टेलिंग पीपल, द होल वर्ल्ड, कि व्हाई इज इंडिया नॉट हेल्पिंग यूक्रेन टू फाइट दिस वॉर, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग. द वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज आर सेइंग कि भाई इंडिया यूक्रेन को मदद क्यों नहीं कर रही, हाउ कैन यू बाय रशियन ऑयल, जो मनी रशिया के पास जाता है, दे आर फाइटिंग अगेंस्ट यूक्रेन बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. बट पीपल डोंट नो दैट यूक्रेन आर द गाइस हु आर द रास्कल्स. They are making missiles, missile parts, tanks and other armaments for Pakistan, and they are secretly supplying it to Pakistan when they fully realize and they know that it is going to be used against India. उस टाइम तो कोई पता नहीं क्या, right? So we don't know who is the friend and who is the enemy. तो ऐसे जो है ना समय में हमें हमेशा सतर्क रहना चाहिए, and we should be intelligent enough to understand and to adapt to the situation. That is the point I want to bring to you, because changes will happen. Change is dynamic, because the only two things which are constant in life are death and change. They are the only two things which you can never avoid. Death and change. आज आपका कमर का साइज 30 है, कुछ दिन बाद वो 32 से 34 भी हो सकता है. Today you are thinking like this, tomorrow you will think something different because more inputs have come in over there. Today he is your friend, tomorrow he can be enemy. today this is right, tomorrow that can be wrong. So change is constant. हमेशा change होते रहेगा. So it is better that we adapt to the change quickly. And of course, I have different formulas for change, which in itself is a huge session, which I will not repeat now. So the smartest thing that you can do in a VUCA world and in a place which is constantly changing is firstly adapt, learn, unlearn and relearn. इसका क्या महत्व है, इसका मतलब क्या है? They will explain to you better, and there will be a lot of other people coming and talking to you about how to adapt, how to learn, how to unlearn. There are a lot of things which you have learned till now, you have to unlearn now. उसको निकालना है अभी, फिर relearn करना है दोबारा. And that is a constant जो है cycle which is going to happen in life, and not only for your professional life, ये आपके personal life के लिए भी बहुत अच्छा है. ये अगर आप aspect को रखें. You know, they say that pressure जो है ना, pressure builds character, but मैं कहता हूँ pressure does not build character. Pressure actually reveals the character. जो कैसा है उसका मास्क उतर जाता है. जब प्रेशर और कठिनाइयों पे आती है ना, तकलीफ में होता है ना बंदा, कहते हैं उसको बड़ा कैरेक्टर बिल्ड होता है. नो, actually it reveals the true character of that guy. And they say that that's why I say whenever you have responsibility which is coming up, don't start avoiding eye contact. Volunteer, karo, seek it, seek responsibility. Always don't fear responsibility, seek it. And then failure jo hai, don't avoid failure. Failure is something you cannot avoid, but you should learn from that failure. हमारे टाइम में मेरे दोस्त इतने बदमाश होते थे, कहते कम हियर. मेरे जो सीनियर्स भी होते थे एकेडमी में, वो बहुत बदमाशी करते थे. आई टोल्ड यू ना, तो कहते हैं कम हियर, आई विल टीच यू द ABCD ऑफ लाइफ. व्हेनेवर यू आर गिवन अ वेरी टफ जॉब, ये फॉर्मूला याद रखना, ABCD. ये मेरे को एकेडमी में सिखाया. कहता है सबसे पहला इफ अ वेरी टफ जॉब आपको दिया जाता है, सबसे पहला A, अवॉइड. उस जॉब को अवॉइड करो. तो कहते हैं अगर अवॉइड नहीं कर पाते वो फिर भी तुम्हारे पीछे पढ़ाई ये करना ही है, तो B, बाईपास करो. ट्राई टू बाईपास दैट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. कहता बाईपास भी नहीं चलता, वो बहुत बिल्कुल पीछे पड़ा है तुम्हारे हाथ धो के पड़ा है पीछे. तो कहते हैं C, कंफ्यूज द इशू. और ये सर द थिंग इज सच एंड द सचनेस ऑफ द थिंग करके पूरा उल्टा उल्टा गोल गोल करके उसको कंफ्यूज करो. एंड मेरे टाइम में तो हम कहते हैं कि डी, इन केस नन ऑफ दिस वर्क देन डू इट. लेकिन आजकल का जो लेजी जनरेशन है वो डी का उन्होंने मतलब ही चेंज कर दिया डेफिनेशन. कहते हैं डी इज नॉट डू इट, इन केस एवरीथिंग एल्स फेस डी, डेलीगेट इट. कहने का मतलब है don't go by this formula. I only told you this formula so that you can avoid someone who tells you to use this formula. Okay, so whenever responsibility is given to you, seek it, take it. Now I come to one very very important aspect which you are going to face, and that is your ethics, values and moral courage. Very 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 important. I'm telling you, सारे चीजों का दारोमदार यही है. Now what do I mean by that? The world, as you know, requires competent people. You know, everybody wants competent people. They don't want stupid people and lazy people and other things. But even more than competence or competent people, it needs ethical people. Ethical. आधे लोगों को एथिक्स और एथिकल पीपल के बारे में मालूम नहीं होता. उनका डेफिनेशन इज लिटिल वॉफ्टेड. सो आई विल मेक इट लिटिल क्लियर फॉर यू टुडे. रिमेंबर, you are going to enter professions where someday you may handle money, resources, information, decisions, teams, power, authority. But like they say even in the Spider-Man series में, with greater authority, greater power comes greater responsibilities. Correct? So that you have to understand. And power is very dangerous thing if not guided by values. उसका practical example आजकल दिख रहा है हमारे को हॉर्मोस में. When power is not guided by proper values and ethics, look at the chaos it has created, not only for himself, but for the whole world. It has created chaos over there. There's a ripe example there. A person with intelligence but no ethics can become a threat to society. Remember that. A person with ambition but no integrity can destroy institutions and organizations. They are very central for the success and the goodness of every organization. Your degree that you're going to get over here can get you a very good position because it's a very good management college, and you will know by reputation itself. You know, most of the placement people, they go by reputation. Placement जब भी जाते हैं, this goes by the reputation of the college. So you will get a good placement, a position. But ultimately, it's your values that will determine whether you deserve that position and also sustain it with full respect. Because easy or cheap success जो होता है ना, it cannot sustain, it cannot hold for long. People see through that. Okay. So never compromise your integrity for the temporary gains that you can get. Remember, in life, there should be no shortcuts. कभी भी shortcut मत लो. There should be no shortcuts. Now, importance of teamwork, which I've already told you, but I won't much on nothing. But just on the lighter side, I remember teamwork can do wonders. So I was heading I was the CHRO and I was heading the HR team. One day, just on the lighter side, I came with a sparkling new Mercedes Benz which I had bought. So all about 15, 20 of the HR people came and said, "Wow, sir, what a beautiful car, fantastic, lovely, sir, that you have bought it." I said, "Guys, you guys work hard. You work hard, and next year, by God's grace, I will be able to buy a better car." So that's on the lighter side. But as a team, remember, when you work hard, you can create results which can give you rewards, right? That is just to give you a little, what shall we say, example of what hard work can do for you. So when I said about your no shortcuts, remember in the army, हमारा जो bulwark है ना, foundation है, that is on trust. Trust and the respect. Trust on the leadership. And how do you gain the trust? Because if I talk about leadership, I can go ad nauseum for 2 days without any rest. There's so much to leadership. But one aspect of leadership, I just tell you so that you will understand. Remember, whenever a leader is followed, he's not followed for his brilliance and for his 100% results and all that. No, people don't want a mechanical guy who's all brains and everything. What is more important is, that he's human. He's human. And I can assure you, अगर आपको leader choose करना पड़ेगा ना, you will choose a human person rather than a mechanical guy who only goes by results, management by objectives and things like that. As a leader, you will. Nobody is paripurna everything. You are the perfect embodiment of the ideal, whatever it is. Everybody has vulnerabilities. You have your fears. You have your shortcomings. Don't try to camouflage too much of it. Where you feel that there are people who are better qualified than you, who are in front of you, or who are in your part of your team, utilize them. Don't treat them as your threat, but collaborate and utilize that. And when they come to know you, good, I have also got value. Boss values me because I have got a little more domain knowledge on this part of the thing. They will love that boss rather than a boss who pretends I know everything. He says something, shut up. That's not it. वो पुराना है, छोड़ो, ये करो. Whom will you follow? So a boss could be vulnerable, and the trust that you build with your people how it happens in the army that we are charging into the thing, machine gun is firing at us, and I tell him, right side, number 2 platoon, attack, charge that machine gun and finish it. Without a second word, he just gets up and charges there with machine gun, blasting his chest into smithereens over there. Most of the Fortune 500 companies, when I go, they ask me, how do you get this type of a leadership thing to do? हम तो यहाँ अगर एक बंदे को एक टफ जॉब देते थे वो तो 100 सवाल पूछने लगता है कि सर why me always sir, why you telling me to do this sir, सर रमेश को तो लास्ट टाइम प्रमोशन और एक्स्ट्रा इंसेंटिव मिला था ना, उसको बोलो ना, अभी मेरे को क्यों देख रहे हो? और थर्ड रिएक्शन इज, अरे यार दिस फेलो ही ऑलवेज मेरे को फंसाना चाहता है, इसलिए मेरे को ये टफ जॉब दे रहा है सो दैट आई फेल. This is the thought process there. But in the army, why is it not there? And why army analogy is being used? I'll tell you. Because, for example, when as an infantry attack, हम लोग जा रहे हैं और एक minefield सामने आ जाती है. We don't know that there is a minefield. और minefield में क्या होते हैं? छोटे-छोटे जो mines लगे होते हैं ground में. Suddenly one fellow gets blown up. Half his leg, मतलब half his body with the leg gets blown up. You can see his leg flying there, and he's dead. And now you suddenly realize, oh my God, we are in a minefield. So the drill for our infantry is, we are moving in an extended formation. We straight away change that into a file formation, single line. ताकि अगर मरे भी तो एक दो ही मरेंगे, लेकिन क्योंकि distance between mines we know, we have got that engineering knowledge. So वो एक ही लाइन में गए तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा एक या दो मरेंगे, but बाकी सीधे निकल जाएंगे. Now the question is, who's going to be in the first over there? And that is where the leadership comes. Indian Army में, I'm not talking about other armies, सबसे पहले prodders जाते हैं, जिसके पास prodder होते हैं. उसके बाद the fellow who starts the line is the officer who is in charge of that. He quietly comes and stands there. अगर वो उधर खड़ा ना हो, तो do you think anyone will volunteer to come here to get blown up? Nobody will come. सबसे पहले बोलेगा तुम जा भाई. अगर वो कॉर्पोरेट में तो अगर ऐसा पहले खड़ा ही होगा, देखेगा कोई मेरे आगे है नहीं, तो again he'll go back and go behind someone else. So the army officer, when he does that, everybody follows. So that is the type of leadership. And the army officer also does that. You know why? Because he knows कि अगर मेरा पाँव blow up भी हो जाएगा, तो my buddies, my boys, I have enough faith in them. They will carry me out of that minefield. So it's a दो तरफा trust. Both sides they trust each other with their lives. And that is the symbiotic relationship that gets you the success, that gets you the synergy, and that gets you the strength to hit the enemy where it hurts most. So life में हमेशा हर चीज में सहमति yes करना जरूरी नहीं है. We don't want yes men. You are going to be trained here. We don't want you to be yes men. You'll be faced with a lot of situations where the boss will look towards you. And if you say no, that means you know कि मेरा जो है, I am not on very good grounds. But that's where courage comes. And I'm especially mentioning this to you because I have been through those situations. And I want you to be prepared mentally at that point of time what to think and what to do and how to react to that situation. So you should know courage. As per management, there are about 6 types of courage. You know, moral, social, intellectual, spiritual, physical. There are 6 types of courage. And out of those 2, I'm going to talk about is physical courage. Yes, physical courage. होना चाहिए कि the daredevilry to मैं करूँगा या करूँगी and I'll go forward. That physical courage. And the second courage, which is the most important, which I'm going to talk to you today, is the moral courage. It may sound like a small word to you today, but आपको मेरी ये बात याद रहेगी, ये तुम्हारे दिमागों में गूंजेगी जब you will face this situation in the boardroom, in the organizations and the companies that you serve. What is moral courage? What is moral courage? Can anyone tell me? Fantastic. Yeah, you are just like me. Moral courage is the thing to stand by your moral. That's good. But what is that? Right? Yeah, say it. Very good. Excellent. Anyone else? Doing the very good. Excellent.
So, when you know the work is tough, but you still race to do it, that's a moral courage. When you don't want to give up on the things, that is a moral courage.
Very good. I think in parts you guys have brought out. I just want to just sum up the whole thing over there. It says speaking the truth when it is even when it is uncomfortable. Speaking the truth even when it is uncomfortable. Standing up for what is right, which someone rightly said over here. Refusing unethical shortcuts. Refusing unethical shortcuts. Admitting mistakes honestly. Now, this is one quality which I would really like to emulate because initial stages, even I had a difficult thing over there. कि mistakes भी हो रहा है, but honestly to own up and say that कि यार मेरे से वो थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है, but do that. And doing your duty even when nobody is watching you. Very important. You don't want validation, you don't want this thing, and you don't want a monitor standing on your head. You do the right thing even when nobody is watching you, right? So it's easy to be ethical when everything is comfortable. जब सब कुछ comfortable होता है ना, तब ethical होना बहुत easy होता है. But the real test comes when there is pressure, lot of pressure. There's a lot of temptation. There's a lot of fear. Or if there is a personal loss which is involved in this whole process. मेरे को अक्सर लोग ना लोग पूछते हैं कि सर ethical बोलते हैं ethical क्या होता है? So most of the times people teach you ethical means to choose right from the wrong. But I'll give you a little better definition than that because it's not as simple as that. Right and wrong. पता है तो वो choice बहुत easy हो जाती है. But the choice is between the right and what you feel is good for you. तब होता है डिफिकल्टी. राइट एंड रॉन्ग में डिफिकल्टी नहीं होती है. द डिफिकल्टी होती है कि राइट एक तरफ है और दूसरा व्हाट यू फील इज गुड फॉर यू, प्रॉफिटेबल फॉर यू. उस दोनों में चॉइस थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होता है. सो ट्राई टू एनालाइज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू and then you will understand what is the importance of this. Now enough of all this. I want you all to learn and respect each other and respect the inherent differences in your culture, in your upbringing, in your religion, and in your way of life. Because now you all have collected here together from so many states. I asked him what are the breakdown, कि कौन states से आए हैं. And I'm very happy to note, of course, besides the 2 states from where the maximum contribution is there, आप छोटे-छोटे गांव शहरों से भी आए हैं, which is very good. And I tell you, इतना अच्छा learning place हो ही नहीं सकता. हमेशा जो है प्रोफेसर्स और ऊपर वाले जो है सिखाते हैं ना, उससे एजुकेशन पूरा कंप्लीट नहीं होता है. Large part of it is taken care of, but the larger part is taken care of from your peers. You learn from each other. And education is not about just academics. Education is much more. It is about everything that you are and what defines you. It is to do with the type of sanskar, like he said, which is there in you. And that will go very, very, very long way. I have seen people who are so intolerant towards other people's views, other people's point of view, other people's religion. मैं तो कहता हूँ even बोलते हैं ना love each other. More important than love is your respect first. Even in a marriage, even in a relationship, remember, वो बोलते हैं ना we love each other, but I don't like what he is doing. And when he does something wrong, she really puts him down or he really puts her down. You cannot have love, as far as I'm concerned, from my personal experience. You cannot have love unless you have respect for that person. So the first basic issue is between husband and wife, wife and husband, between girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, between guys and friends, between girls and friends, between your relationship, anywhere. The first thing is respect. Learn to respect each other. Keep within your boundaries. Don't attack anybody in his personal issues and his personal sphere of life, you will go a long way. And this is the time. They often said, earlier they used to say, battles and wars are won not in the battlefields, they're won in the lawns of Eton and Oxford and things like that. And that is so true. Sitting down here, all of you are here. All of us are simple. You all don't even know what greatness lies in you. When I started off as a young officer, I was lazy initially. I was not so inspired initially. I never knew that I would be thrust in a position where my actual true self, which I had gathered over a period of time, the values that my father and my parents had added on me, my good friends had added on me, would actually help me in my times of need and in times of pressure. And that really catapulted me up there. Tomorrow it could be any one of you. I dare say there might be some people who will become world level leaders from here, world level this thing from here. I would be proud that will say ki I was there at the induction program. I'll have my own small piece of fame with you guys, right? So I want you all not to waste your time. I'm telling you, if there was a Jadui ka danda, I would love to be there, sitting down there, so that I would get a chance and I would make a lot of friends. I have friends from school and from colleges who are my buddies, and they can address me in the most foul manner. My daughter got flabbergasted when one of my friends, दो तीन गाली देके मेरे को बुलाया ऐसे उसने. I'm in my position where people give me so much respect, they even touch my feet, even the highest of doctors do that. But when my classmate came and started abusing me and my daughter got flabbergasted. So I tell my daughter, look, this is what good friends are for. We can be so much to each other and we help each other. He was in times of need, I helped him all out over there. So this is your time. Of course, school is the best time because you spend maximum time. But here, 2 years is not insignificant. 2 years is a long time. Stop doing virtual friendship. Do some real friendship. Okay? वो virtual वाला virtually आएगा. जिस दिन तुम बीतोगे और यहाँ से चले जाओगे ना दुनिया से, in your funeral also there should be only mobile kept over there virtually. We are so sad you have gone, but you can't read that either. Neither will that person be present. So be real. Don't rely too much on this virtual and other things. Have real friends who can be there, because you require that moral support and that thing as you go along in life. Then, while you are participating in all the activities, whatever there, sports, join clubs, travel, debate, read, make friends, build memories for yourself. Because as we go up in age, which I realize now, the memories mean such a lot. It gives me that smile even now. I don't remember who won the gold medal or the Nobel Prize in my year of graduation and other things. But I remember Eddie, my cycle wala fellow who looked after the cycle shed, who used to make sure that my cycle is shining a lot, because I used to tip him and he used to be very grateful to me. Plus he used to really like me a lot and he used to take good care of me. I remember that simple cycle wala. That is a memory that I have got over here. Not the fellow who won the gold medal or the Nobel Prize also, or even the Bharat Ratna at that time. Now I read and learn, but that time it didn't matter to me, because what was closest was that. So build memories, build friends, build relationships like that. And of course, speaking of laughter and humor, that is my forte, because I feel that for any Fauji, sense of humor is a must. And even in the most difficult of times, I remember when we were going up to war, that sense of humor never left us. And the sense of humor, the best thing is, वो तुम्हारा जो है ना पूरा दुख तकलीफ पीड़ा सबको कम कर देता है. I remember when we were going up the mountains for the attack, all the battalions from here, there, we all concentrated at the base before the actual attack went. And in the base, we had very limited resources and we had an officers' mess where all these youngsters, young officers, 30, 40 of them used to come together and we used to have a meal. This is before the actual war started. But the war was looming large on us. We were worried. So we just noticed that everybody, these youngsters would come, because abhi dekho, arrangement pura hai nahi, resources pura, and the khana used to be not so good. Let's be frank. Take our khana. It was just for existence only. But youngsters, they would pura help करके इतना pile, इट्स सच अ बिग पाइल कि मतलब उसमें ग्रास ऊपर भी जंप करने के लिए डाउट करता है कि इतना हजार में कैसे मैं जंप मारूं उसके थ्रू. Then after they started eating little bit, they realized it's not good food, and they should throw it away, waste. So the commanding officer said, "Yeah, this is a national waste, and if you save money like this, it could win us the war." And he gave a little lecture to the mess secretary, who is in charge of all this. तो मेस सेक्रेटरी को बुरा लगा या मेरे को गाली या डांट पड़ी कमांडिंग ऑफिसर से, ये लोग वेस्ट करते हैं. सो ऑन द बिग बोर्ड डाइनिंग हॉल में उसने लिख दिया, डोंट वेस्ट फूड, दिस कुड विन अस द वॉर. और फिर शाम को देखा तो ऑल द यंगस्टर्स केम, सॉ दिस, दे रेड दैट, उन्होंने हेल्प किया एंड दे स्टार्टेड ईटिंग स्लोली एंड लुकिंग देयर. बट शाम को फिर वही कहानी, अगेन फूड बीइंग वेस्टेड. But when the mess secretary came, he saw something scribbled over there. जहाँ लिखा था ना, don't waste food, this could win us the war. किसी ने कुछ लिखा था नीचे. So the mess secretary went close up there to see कि लिखा क्या है. उसमें लिखा था, yes sir, we agree to that, but how do we get the enemy to come and eat the food here? कहता है. It could win us the war, बोलता ना. So what I'm saying is, even in tough times, our fellows never lost the sense of humor, and we have so many stories like this about the sense of humor. And I've seen my soldiers, even in the toughest of times, how they were smiling and relating stories and staying cheerful, and that helped us a lot over there. And humor is something which is good, and when you are a person who's got that nice jovial and a good look over there, people feel happy when you enter the room, not when you leave it. They actually feel happy. I had some bad bosses. वो सुबह आता था, he used to बीवी के साथ खूब झगड़ा करके आता था. पहले तो उसका शक्ल ही बिल्कुल कैस्ट्रॉयल फेस होता था. And then we used to wish him, good morning sir, because he's a senior officer. He used to look at us and say, you idiot, what's so good about the morning? अब बीवी से झगड़ा किया और गुस्सा हमारे पे झाड़ रहा है. So that day only I realized कि भैया, मैं जब बड़ा बनूंगा, when I become a senior officer, I will never do this. And I've always maintained my sense of humor. And I want you all to be also maintaining that sense of humor. I'm not asking you to be jokers. I'm asking you to maintain the sense of humor. You must have that, right? Now, finally, there are people over here who might have doubts. यार, हम तो टेक्नोलॉजी वाले जमाने में हैं. And science, technology, everything is going so forward. इसमें हमारी human values का क्या role है? उसमें all I can say is, you guys are privileged to be belonging to a very remarkable generation. You have access to the most extraordinary technology, knowledge, and which is available so instantly in your internet. Then your AI, it can answer all your questions, whatever you there within seconds like that. But remember this, technology can provide information, but only values can provide wisdom. Secondly, technologies can be replicated and stolen from you, right? But your Josh, your spirit, and your goodwill to do fantastic for the organization is something which cannot be replicated easily by people. They cannot steal that away. And having said that, I wish you all the best. You are in one of the best and the unique colleges that could possibly happen. I understand some of you were working before you came here. Some of your parents, like he said, that you are lucky, that fortunate that your parents are paying for your education. Some of you have not come from so well-to-do families, but your parents have sacrificed so much so that you could come and get good education here. So I want you all to be responsible people. I want you all to understand the sacrifices made by your parents and your other people in making you come over here. It's not so easy. And I also understand कि आप अपने एकदम secure life से, from a good background where everything was so comfortable, so you have come to suddenly into a disciplined sort of a world over here where everything is so different. People are different, languages are different. But then that's where I say change is constant. So adjust to that, make the most of it, keep smiling. Keep smiling. But itna bhi smile mat karo na, because I read a thing somewhere over there. One man, he was smiling like anything in the office, or ऑफिस में एकदम हड़कम मची हुई थी कि देयर इज अ सॉलिड क्राइसिस व्हिच इज हैपनिंग एंड दिस गाय इज स्माइलिंग अवे लाइक दिस. ऐसे भी आउट ऑफ प्लेस मत होना, because that fellow didn't know what the hell was happening. He was so stupid. Everybody is, shaking and shivering over there, and he is the only guy smiling. So don't be the only guy who's smiling in the office, because then they will know that you don't know what the hell is happening over here. But be pleasant enough and be helpful to each other. That is more important. And respect each other, and respect each other's religion. Your respect each other's point of view. You don't have to be right all the time. You don't have to prove. And above all, you don't look for validation. कि मैंने अच्छा किया, उसने तो acknowledge नहीं किया, उसने तो बताया नहीं, अरे that sir has not even seen me doing well. Don't go for validation. You be satisfied that you have done well. That is the best thing that you can happen to you, right? Having said that, just remember, himmate marda, madade khuda. Jai Hind and thank you.
Thank you, sir, for so generously sharing your wisdom, lived experiences, and your great sense of humor with us today. Every word you have spoken will stay with each and every person in this room. Couple of my favorite quotes from your truly inspirational talk was the age-old saying that change is the only constant, and pressure does not build character; it reveals it. May this thought act as a guiding light to each one of you on your journey ahead. As you draw this formal ceremony to close, I rise on behalf of IIEBM in this business school to express our heartfelt gratitude. We are deeply thankful to Colonel Vinod Marwa for founding an institution that believes a good manager must first be a good human being, and for continuing to lead IIEBM with that conviction every single day. A sincere gratitude to Colonel Lalit Rai for his time, his wisdom, and above all, for the extraordinary example his life sets for every aspiring leader in this room. You have shown us, sir, that true leadership is not about authority, it is about accountability, courage, and service. We are equally grateful to our Managing Director, Dr. Jai Singh Marwa, whose vision and dynamic leadership continue to drive IIEBM forward, ensuring that our institution grows not just in stature, but in purpose and impact. We extend a heartfelt thanks to our Dean, Dr. Poonam Nikam, for her tireless academic leadership, her unwavering commitment to excellence, and for creating an environment where learning truly thrives. We thank our esteemed faculty members for their dedication and for shaping the environment that our students will grow in. We also extend our sincere appreciation to every member of our staff, administrative and operations, whose quiet, consistent, and support effort keeps this institution running with grace and efficiency. We thank the parents and families of our batch of 2026-28 for the trust they have placed in us. We take that trust very seriously. And finally, to the batch of 2026-28, welcome home. These 2 years will challenge you, stretch you, and ultimately define you. Rise to that challenge with everything you have. With this, I formally conclude the inauguration ceremony. Jai Hind.